been 45 to an hour, and it still rings through my head. Final score, 122. Spurs 122. Thunder 115 in double overtime. Wemby had a 40-20 game, and yeah, Leighton, just go. I want to hear it. The world wants to hear it.
I'm just looking at the Devin Vassell 51 minutes. I mean, where were you? Where were you?
And jumped as high as he possibly could for that block on whoever was on chat in double overtime too.
And with the double overtime and Wemby just getting beat up out here, we still only have 9 minutes out of Luke. But, I mean, you could kind of just see what was going to happen in the first quarter when Wemby came out for his rest, and like maybe 3 minutes later he was back at. They were not giving Cornet time.
It's insane because you can have good Luke Cornet minutes, but like
he might be the best backup in the league, but Wemby.
But Wemby's just Wemby, and we've seen it. We saw it at the start of the year. I always go back to the in-season tournament because it was when people played their hardest for games. Like I can always look back at the in-season tournament and say like those games did matter. They might not be playoffs, but the Thunder were 24-1, and the game did count for the record, the standings, because it was a semifinals game. And Wemby just came back off an injury and only played 20 minutes. And in those 20 minutes, he's a plus 30 and beats the 24-1 Thunder. Like, it just takes 20 minutes of Wemby to be like better than the Thunder. And we saw it super, super early. The one thing I saw from Mark Daigneault, who's a very smart man, after 5 minutes of Wemby minutes, he just said Isaiah Hartenstein isn't going to play when Wemby plays because he cannot have anyone who cannot shoot and let Wemby roam the paint, or else like our offense is just impossible. You get your Shea hate. You get 5 minutes of uninterrupted Shea hate here, Leighton.
All right. 5 minutes is crazy. I'm not gonna feel it. So my thing with Shea, it's kind of like a Kobe situation where, I don't inherently hate the person, but just the fans being so wrong about a player is what has me on the side of hating him so much.
So wrong?
Real hatred. Yes. Okay, look, I'll give Shea third best in the world. And if you even want to say like second, you're not ridiculous until next season. But like, just the best in the world talk when he is not the best in the world at anything besides mid-range jump shot gets propped up by having the best. He's still one of the best players in the league, absolutely, but he wins these individual awards like MVP, kind of an important one, from the backs of his team being great. In Lakers series, game 1, 2, and Jay Mitchell. And AJ Mitchell didn't have his game tonight. Now we have 32-year-old Alex Caruso propping him up. Like he has great individual stats, sure, but if you just put them one for one with Jokic, Luka, I'm gonna say he should have been probably third. Not quite, just over the whole regular season, but like he's just statistically not better. He has never been the best player in the league statistically, and he's continued to win more. Not done because it's just become a one seed. Probably the main gripe.
Never been an MV, never been the best player in the league. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
But he did have an MVP season with his second best player not playing.
If Nikola Jokic didn't exist this year, maybe. Even still, if we want to just look at stats, I'll give it to Luka. But because when you look at him just straight up with Luka, what I love about it is the one argument he has over Luka is more efficient scoring, and then it's Jokic having more efficient scoring than Shea. So it's just like in my opinion, there's just no way to twist it. But we're gonna ignore that.
I think Shea is just he was way too consistent for a guard. Like we see now in the playoffs how hard it is to be consistent as a guard. Because I always use the Curry example because I hated Curry probably as much as Leighton hates Shea right now in Curry's prime, because he wasn't that good every day and his team would somehow find a way to win because they were just the most stacked lineup. Even before the Kevin Durant days, he could sit there and go a 5 for 19, like Shea did tonight, and they would still find a way to be in the game. And then Curry hits 2 threes, and he's the hero, and he'd shimmy right in front of everyone like a front runner. It's just really hard as a guard, even if you're a big guard, a small guard, to have consistently great games, jump shooting, because it's you can in tight playoff games you can bail out, and you can be the whistle gets swallowed, and you just see over and over and over again. It's just so hard to score as a guard. I mean, that and or just be Jalen Brunson.
I wasn't like quite with you at the time, but like I could see the Curry comparison just like looking at the team around him. But I mean, at least like in Curry's 2016, like that was just like didn't even contest it, so it was a little bit different. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like how I started the conversation with like maybe it wouldn't be something that I hate on, and I could just sit there and appreciate it if he wasn't like just directly taking awards from like Jokic and Luka and people who are just like statistically better. In my opinion, it just becomes a thing where I have to like argue the other side so much that it turns into probably just overhating. But
let's not overlook the 40-20 by Wemby and how I fear the Wemby cycle. The Shea cycle will hit Wemby eventually. Right now, he is the hero that saved basketball. 40 points, 20 rebounds, 3 blocks. This man was like, I don't even know what to point at first from what Wemby did, but I think I want to look at the shot he took from Yucatan to save the entire game. This is why I put in, before I left for Nigeria, a bet while outlandish, but during the first round of the playoffs, the Thunder were favored to win the entire championship over the field. So I put $12 on it to win 25. For the first time since I put down that bet, I could now cash out for money, which is funny to me. It's the Wemby effect. He saved the entire season. What do you think of Wembananas at this point?
Dude, like when he was like situationally, it was obvious they needed a 3 on that play. So like as soon as he's walking down transition, I'm just thinking like, okay, who's open? Is he gonna like throw it to the corner? And then like the thought crossed my mind, but I was like, nah, that'd be insane. And then I saw him set the first foot, and my jaw just dropped. It was just, I didn't even need to see him make it. It's just the fact that he even pulled it was just ridiculous.
Decided to let that go. I don't think he hit a 3 this game. If I go to the box score,
he was 1 for 2. I believe he was 1
if
for
I
2.
go to the box score, he didn't shoot any 3s this game. For that, like when Curry shot that shot from that exact same spot, that was to make his 12th 3-pointer or 13th 3-pointer of the game. And he just, like, the highlights from this game will like live on forever. And like you look at the highlights, and the first couple things is the 3-pointer, Wemby and Shea trading baskets, and I go back and think, is this the best game played in this building? Because some people can argue Game 6 Clay, some people can argue 13 threes out of Curry. Some people can argue the game winner for Kevin Durant when the series was tied at 1. What's your take on just the game in general?
It's also like you can see the Chet hatred seething through, because usually, like, maybe it's more so throughout the regular season, but like sometimes Wemby was getting a little too comfortable out there on the field line. Like, you know, like the kid in like elementary school ball who's like, he's supposed to be a center, but he just wants to like shoot and be a guard. Like Wemby would almost look like that sometimes. He could do it though, but like in this game, he had 49 minutes, right? So like much more time to be out there jacking up threes, and he's just like banging around every play. Like even if it's just high post, like when he had the shot like in the end of, what was it, regulation, and then Shea had the layup. I think that was regulation, not first overtime. Like I said, he caught the ball. He had it for maybe like 8 seconds. He spent 3/4 of the time just like bodying up and just pivoting for position before he went up and made the shot. And he was just doing the same thing all game. He was just trying to bang around down there. And like that one was awesome where Caruso was trying to guard him. He just kind of lost his footing, fouled, and just threw a lob straight. And he had a bunch of those just like quick drop-off dunks. I like the physicality, but it is crazy. He went 49 minutes with 2 3 attempts, and that was one of them.
Lou Dort bodied him up for how many minutes? Lou Dort bodied him up for 22 minutes, and Isaiah Hartenstein played 12 minutes. If you want to see the Wemby effect defensively, if you cannot hit an open shot, you will not play in this series. You will not play in this series when Wemby is on the court. Because if Wemby can sit in the paint, Wemby was a plus 16 in 48 minutes. They played, that means there was 10 total minutes where he didn't play, and they lost those by how much? They won by 7. They won by, that's -9. I don't know. It's ridiculous.
And Lou Dort was 1 for 5. I feel like most of those misses came like from the start. They were loud too.
Why?
That's how he only ended up with 22 minutes. Probably would have gotten more in that kind of game.
Wide open. He couldn't play. Lou Dort didn't play so much that he wasn't in the game for the final defensive possession in the first overtime.
You know who else was it?
Okay. Shea's not a top like this
two-way elite superstar. Nah, but
this
and then they tried to run Jalen Williams on him like alone with no Chet, no Hartenstein. Did not work. So he only got 10 minutes. And I also just, as a man, like I already pointed this out to you. How are you Chet Holmgren? You're 7'1", allegedly the defensive player of the year runner-up, and you're watching your 6'4" teammate get the Wemby assignment, and you just can't say anything about it because you know it's the right move. You know he's better at it than you.
Hey coach,
bro.
Coach, let me get him. Everyone looks at you like, no, we do not want to poke the bear. Like imagine like your age mate saying, no, we don't want to make him mad. Like, Chet, you were an all-star.
You're getting treated like a defensive liability, like by your own coach, when you're supposed to be the second best defensive player in the league. Oh,
second in yeah.
Okay, the one thing that does scare me though, as high as I am right now, the one thing that does scare me is like, I mean, we had that dumpster fire out of Shea, and then even AJ Mitchell, like, he's been the one. Like ordinarily, if you said it a month ago, you're like, oh, AJ Mitchell had a bad game, who cares? But like, not like the Lakers put up any bit of a fight, but I mean, he was going crazy in that series. So for him to also have a bad game and for it to still be like as scrappy as it was, that's a little bit scary.
AJ Mitchell was a certified backup point guard, and I just think he could score. He was effective, but he wasn't that good. I think it was a perfect storm of kind of like CJ McCollum. He got Austin Reeves on him coming off an oblique injury. And there was no one else they could throw at him. There was no one else he could throw at him. So he just had chicken. Marcus Smart could not switch onto him because then Austin Reeves would have to guard Shea. It was just the perfect storm of like, they're doubling me and it's AJ Mitchell versus a hobbled Austin Reeves. And that's just, it's CJ McCollum on Jalen Brunson all over again. So I think those numbers were just the slightest bit inflated when I saw
wasn't as dialed in. I mean, I watched, but I knew it wasn't going to be a good series. So.
It was a sweep coming from a mile away, but still 4 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists is just, it's unacceptable. But like it's really hard to score. The reason why Caruso had 31 is because it was just 3-point attempt, and also Caruso's just smart and he just doesn't fear anything. I'm trying to look at everyone's point total, and if it wasn't like Shea or obviously Jalen Williams, who they combined for 50, like Chet Holmgren had 8 points, and 6 of them came from 3, and 2 of them came from the free throw line. Lou Dort had 5 points, 3 of them from 3. Hartenstein with 0. Caruso with his 34, 24 from 3. Cason Wallace had 8 points, 6 of them from the 3-point line. Jared McCain had 7 points, 3 of them from the 3-point line. Like, there's not a lot of points.
It's a low-scoring game. It's a low-scoring game in general.
Very low-scoring game, but all of those points from the 3-point line, they can't go inside out if Wemby's playing all those minutes. You saw in the other series, like the second Wemby comes out, Luke Cornett is just getting attacked. I mentioned it with Kenny Atkinson, how he talked about Asar Thompson on the perimeter of, we just decided, like, if you have Asar Thompson on you, you're just going to throw it to the next guy, and they're going to go at Dennis Jenkins. Even though Dennis Jenkins isn't a bad defender, Luke Cornett's not a bad rim protector.
I was going to say.
He's just not Wemby. So it's like, when you're just not Wemby, you're just going to get attacked, like, by far.
I was going to say, correct me if I'm wrong. I was going to say, like, Luke Cornett, ordinarily, you wouldn't be doing him like that. But just the drop down from Wemby, no matter who it is coming in to back him up, their eyes light up when they're looking at the rim as soon as Wemby gets to the bench. It's hilarious.
We might have 2 top 5 all-time defenders, or 3 if you count the other Thompson twin, but he's better offensively, but still he's amazing defensively. We're gonna have 3 top, maybe 10 defensive players in the league right now, and it's gonna be really interesting to watch, because when you have that kind of defender, teams just rather sit a guy. So you rather sit your best player in the corner than go at him. Which, I mean, for perimeter guys that's fine, but for interior guys that's insane. The Spurs only went 7 deep. Carter Bryant played 13 minutes. Keldon Johnson played 21.
Honestly, also, now that I'm looking at it, like, none of them were really shooting like that. I mean, Keldon Johnson, 3 for 6 was the best line, and then Vassell and Champagny also had 3, but like 3 for 9, 3 for 11, and then Castle 1 for 6, Harper 1 for 7. None of them were really, although it was just also not a lot of attempts besides like a couple guys. Well, actually, no, there's 9, 11, 7, 6. No, I'm lying on that. But yeah, none of them really had a great night from 3. It's just they're banging around. I mean, Harper, rim runs looked great. Castle honestly didn't have that great of a game.
11 assists, 11 turnovers. They needed De'Aaron
Fox.
5
for 14.
They needed De'Aaron Fox this night, and I was just
think about that.
Just shocked. Like they got out to an early lead, and I was like, I don't know how you sustain this without De'Aaron Fox. And once it got to the fourth quarter, and they started getting a little and careless with the ball. And it just felt like, okay, maybe OKC comes and catches them. And then when OT hits, I was like, this is OKC's game. There's just no way.
I feel like Harper could not stop fumbling it. Like it didn't even turn into that many turnovers, but just like dribbling the ball, stumble, trying to get a pass, stumble.
I saw him I think he got tired.
I saw him bobbling the ball like so often. Dude, I all I could think about was De'Aaron Fox being out before the game, and after the game, I just completely forgot about it because I was just mesmerized. Is he going to be back next game? Like, what's the extent of that injury?
I feel like that was their plan, but after you just won game 1, if he feels the same after 1 day's rest tomorrow on Wednesday, I don't risk anything, and you sit the guy, and if you're down 15.
Yeah.
You just you
also you can go 1-1 going back home and feel fine. So the pressure's on the Thunder next game.
On them they can go 2-2. I texted you in the middle of the fourth quarter when this game started to get tight. I said this game is a must win for the Spurs. It was a must win for the Thunder early when Fox went out, but after the Spurs played a winning effort after 3.5 quarters, they had to win this game. And you felt that pressure, and Wemby just said, I'm 7'5", and I'm just better than everyone. I don't need to go through growing pains. I don't need to figure out how to win in the playoffs. I'm just better. Everyone else can figure it out behind me. And it feels like a very old reference, but a 1977 Bill Walton, somebody who's just breaking basketball and just deciding I'm better than everyone and I'm just going to win. Rest his soul, Bill Walton. He won 4 championships in college and just got into the NBA as a rookie and said, I'm just better. Wemby with 72 fantasy points.
I saw a Polymarket Instagram post who should have won MVP. It was 5 options. Wemby was 67%. Yes, that same shit 2 days ago. He's getting 20, 28.
And now
the hype is crazy.
And now we're gonna sit here, and it's gonna be in the documentary of it's a Hakeem moment, where Hakeem saw David Robinson win the MVP and absolutely shat on him the next day.
That's awesome.
This is literally watching. When I saw Shea win the MVP, I was like, God, you should have given him the MVP last series.
I'm gonna wait till I see I feel like for political correctness, I have to wait like a little bit before I start throwing Wemby in the top 3, top 2. But like
Nope.
he's without a
No.
doubt
What's
there
up?
next season. Yeah, maybe not, maybe not.
Well,
Maybe not.
after 40, I see 40, 20, I see 41, 24,
Yeah,
and
maybe
3
it's
blocks
justified.
plus 16. I don't really see a need to wait for what? Wait for what?
Especially in the regular season when you have like the worst teams and like less cerebral like coaching, just like everyone's thinking like he can just add 5 blocks like on any night or more. It's just any other stat line, nobody else can do that.
He just doesn't have like he's not gonna have like the 8 block games in the playoffs, but he like all their points are all dudes
Oh
points are
shit,
from
you already
threes.
did.
All these dudes points are from threes, and also like he's what is it? I look at like the first game of the season. I remember the first game of the season when he played against the Mavericks and he had 40 and 15. And he had that step back and 1-3 against Anthony Davis, a healthy Derek Lively, a healthy Daniel Gafford, and he did not matter. Like that's when Wemby was like ready. Like it didn't really matter. So for him to be like here now, oh my god. As long as he plays 65 games, he's gonna win DPOY every year, and he's gonna be in the MVP conversation. He was my MVP vote, so.
Dude, I was about to pull my hair out though with them still trying to have Wemby on Alex Caruso because Wemby leaving someone to go sit in the paint, absolutely, I get it. But why Alex Caruso? Maybe at the start of the game, maybe after 1-3, maybe 2, maybe 3. But when he's 6 for 10,
the 6 for 10 line was it for me.
And then,
that's when we should have done Chet.
I was complaining in the group chat. I think this is when Chet fouled Wemby on the rebound or something. But Alex Caruso got left wide open, missed a 3, got lucky, and then they kept the ball. It was either like a foul or it went out of bounds. And I was complaining about it. Wide open again. Same possession. Not even next possession. Same possession, and then he hit it. Like, they gotta tighten that up. I mean, maybe they won't have the same problem next game, but like
Dort's not gonna start next game. It's gonna be very confusing. Like you can't run if you're not hitting. If like they're not gonna respect. Like Caruso has to hit shots. It's like when you have like a center with like that doesn't shoot well in 2K. Like he has to hit shots because if he misses, they're gonna leave him open. If Chet misses, they're going to leave him open. If Caruso gets cold, they'll leave him open. But I don't think
if Chet gets in a streak, bro, they're gonna torture him. They're just gonna leave him. They're gonna completely leave him. Like last year's finals kind of thing.
12 minutes with Isaiah Hartenstein. He ended up a +2 even. But they just said like you can't.
I'm surprised he's not getting more. They just don't think he can guard.
No. Like if you can't shoot, like Wemby can sit paint, and that's you can't do that. You can't have Wemby comfortable in the paint, or else the game's over. Like second quarter, they're up 10, they're up 15 in the second quarter. It's just, more Jared McCain minutes. More. I don't know. I don't know what the Thunder do. I believe they'll just win this game. They'll win the next game just because of the young complacency and like minute. If I look at this minute spread, but dude, dog,
It's gonna be cinema.
Man, the Knicks better win. The Knicks better win.
All right, I'm out.